Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 17 Quarterfinals. Another look at Block of Cheddar taking on the Untitled LoneWolf team. Block of Cheddar, of course, if they win this game, LoneWolf team is dead. With me here as always is the Dr. Dota Randy.
Hello.
Last time, Ursa got very distracted by a very shiny looking creep wave and that was that. Let's see what happens this time.
Dire team bad. Dire team bad.
Already starting out with much the same.
Radiant team bad.
Interestingly, this time, Lone Wolf team's banning out the DK. They really think that hero is still worth first pick, first ban. I don't really buy it. I mean, we saw what happened last game, right? You know, it was a hypothetically bad DK game, but he only got doomed when it mattered, like, twice. And it felt like he had clear ability to have impact that game, and that was the impact he had, you know? I don't know if he's worth first PB. I think he's got to be in at least a decent game to be okay right now.
Dire team bad.
Ban out the Witch Doctor, ban out the Puck, ban out the Enigma. Interesting.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, largely just the same bans as the last time. I'm Block of Cheddar, I should say.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't remember who the mysterious fourth ban was.
5 seconds remaining.
It was Tidehunter, right? It was Tidehunter. That was their fourth ban.
Dire team pick.
And they're gonna first pick it. Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Hell yeah. I guess. Did somebody find some kind of secret tech for Tidehunter that makes him, like, God?
10 seconds
Between the last, between last patch and this week? Like,
5 seconds remaining.
what's his global win rate at?
Like hovering 50. I don't know. So maybe like still just carryover from last patch, I guess, because he likes both of the OP items of last patch.
That's true. He can still get the Shiva's Guard in at least pretty decent time, but it feels like with Mage Slayer being fairly mid now, as they say, feels like quite a drop. I mean, the nice thing about Tide really in the last patch was his ability to quickly farm ancients with Mage Slayer, which is pretty gone. And not as gone as the ability to drop E in the middle of the fight and have everyone debuffed for the duration of it, which is super gone now. You gotta keep attacking to keep that thing up. And it's pretty hard to keep getting multiple people with it over and over. Undying comes out, which is a really annoying hero for him to face.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
It's not like the end of the world for Tidehunter or anything, but like it sucks pretty bad for him. He's very vulnerable to the Strength Steel. He's very vulnerable to the Tombstone, even if he personally isn't that scared of it outside of the slow. Because, you know, the Kraken Shell gets rid of most of the damage they're going to do for most of the game. He can't do anything about the Tombstone, and he's a little vulnerable to all the funny percentile nonsense going on with the ult. He can be pretty vulnerable to this Undying guy. Can't really do anything to him, so pretty good pickup there. Randy has declined to comment.
Nothing to say quite yet. It's 2 green heroes. That's all I can say.
Banning out the Ursa. If it's so bad, why did they just ban it, Randy?
It is bad. I don't know why they banned it.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, because I mean, it almost won the last match. If Ray had not, like, screwed up, it would have won. It's an unfortunate thing to
I
say,
guess
but
it also destroys Tide.
also true, yeah. Pretty much unplayable end of it.
Whatever. You can ban Eartha if you want. Fine. It's literally his worst matchup in the entire game. Tide Hunter has a positive win rate under That hero's so fucking bad, dude.
I definitely would not count on that being the case in an LD duel game, though. Well, maybe, but I would not count on that in an LD duel L game. I feel like in an LD duel game, it would still be like you would have to be God on Earth on Titan, or the Earth would have to be terrible for it to like matter. Faceless Void also banned out, by the way. They really want to see this Ray Bay Arc Warden or Terrorblade, I guess.
Remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Where has the Ray Bay Arc Warden been this season? I mean, Arc Warden's been one of the top win rate heroes through most of the season, right? Like,
Guess he just doesn't want to play it.
guess not.
I haven't played it much. He used to be one of my top heroes. I don't know. Sometimes you just don't want to play Arc Warden.
There you go.
Radiant team pick.
There's Neeks. Another pretty annoying thing for Diet Hunter.
And it limits your carry options.
10 seconds.
Yeah, pretty good pick here overall.
5 seconds.
Tied to Neeks is so bad, actually. It's like, not only can you randomly just get your Ravage owned, I mean, not like it like stops the Ravage, mind you, but not only can you get owned for Ravaging for no reason, the Carapace and other Neeks abilities can also kind of ruin the follow-up on the Ravage and just completely inert it. Getting your mana blown up by the guy super sucks, even if he's not going to actually kill you. VS coming out here. Made it a whole series without getting picked, and now she's going to break that trend. Or not a whole series, a whole game. Which I think is the first time we've seen a match without a VS pick or ban since like week 3 or something. She's been everywhere since.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Here comes the Hoodwink. Rather unfortunately, both of these guys are going to get 100 to 0'd by the Neeks Assassin.
Yes.
Don't really have an easy way.
So.
Remaining.
That's true. Don't really have an easy way to stop them or get away or buy time or
5
anything.
seconds remaining.
I mean, I guess they can swap them. That'd be funny.
Dire team pick.
Rather in danger of him positioning wise as well. Here comes the DP. Rather in danger of him positioning wise as well. On the grounds that, you know, the Hoodwink and the VS are going to be waiting on kind of like the back wings of a fight, trying to swap in, and the Neeks can just hound them back there. Waiting to swap in, waiting to throw their crap in, trying to scurry around.
5
Neeks can get rid of that
remaining.
quite handily. Doesn't care about the scurry. And God forbid, if you swap to save a core, and then the Neeks is waiting for you back there, that pretty well sucks. Has the shield. The shield's really nice and cool and everything, but
Radiant team
probably isn't gonna stand up to all that. Here comes
Okay.
a Slark.
You know what this is? It's a Spectre game.
Is it a Spectre game, Randy?
It's a Spectre game.
Yeah, I do not like the Slark pick, in no small part because I feel like Slark has been more busts than success this season. Feels like he's not
But
on
it's a
the
copycat top hero too. Come on, there's no way this is not a Spectre game.
5 seconds remaining.
He blinks on, he shadow steps onto the Neeks Assassin, gets Carapace, and then 5 people kill him.
Radiant team ban.
Simply don't do that.
There you go. Here comes Spectre, just like you wanted. You asked for it. You
Yeah,
got it.
it's free. It's very free.
What are you picking? What are you picking mid? Presumably mid. That's probably loot DP. What are you picking mid for this? If you're the Lone Wolf team.
5 seconds remaining.
That's good into Spectre. It's a good question.
Invoker is not an option.
Okay. I don't know. Necro, Timbersaw, Viper.
Yeah, seen.
I guess I don't like Viper in the spec personally, but you can do it. You can try it if you want.
Actually, this looks like unless something. Well, the Hoodwink is pretty bad, but actually, unless something really crazy comes out last pick for Block of Cheddar, it's actually a really awesome looking Viper game. You just like own everybody and nobody can do anything to you.
Those are the classically bad Spectre matchups.
Yeah, it's a classically bad Spectre matchup. It's a classically bad Tidehunter matchup. The supports can't really do anything about it, and it's probably going to be some kind of magic damage-based final pick here for this team because they have almost none of that so far. I mean, everybody has some magic damage, but nobody really does magic damage, if that makes sense. You got like the Ravage, which is once an hour. You got VS Stun. You got like the Hoodwink ult, which is one guy in a fight. You got the Spectral Dagger, which is not really about the damage.
Radiant team.
You can assume it's probably going to be some kind of magic damagey guy. They're actually predicting the same on Stellar Caribou. Got rid of the Leshrac, got rid of the OD. Spirit of some sort. Quite likely. It's actually a pretty baller looking Void Spirit game, all things considered.
10 seconds remaining.
Until the Viper comes out, if that comes out, mind you, but...
5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Omni Knight?
Okay, Tide mid.
Okay. I mean, if it's tied mid, slam that Viper button and don't even think about it. Like, holy crap, this is such an awesome Viper game.
Does Lone Wolf want to play Viper?
I don't
That's
know.
a good question.
It's not the
Or
worst Timbersaw.
Philosophists.
It's not the worst Timbersaw game either. It's pretty bad Necro. Omni Knight and Necro pretty annoying. The Hoodwink and Necro pretty annoying. All the Timbersaw really has to worry about is the Hoodwink break, and he kind of owns everything else in the game. But oh my god, it's such a tantalizing Viper game.
Probably Timber.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's Timber.
Now select your heroes.
Timber is preventable. That's kind of the downside of the Timber in this matchup. Like, he's gonna own this lane. Like, if Joel even kinda wins this lane, it's gonna be a massive skill issue.
75% free Spectre game.
So the bad news is that the Timber pretty, should own the Tidehunter. He pretty much doesn't care about anything but the Hoodwink. But the problem is that you can easily get an item to change that. I mean, like an Orchid comes out, and now you have to build something to get rid of the Orchid, or you just die every fight.
The way you play is
10
you
seconds remaining.
have 4 people kill the Timber, and then Spectre kills everybody else.
I do think that is a little hard here. I do think Spectre kills everyone else is a bit of a tough prospect when she has like that ult and everything, you know.
Spectre kills everybody else after.
Yeah, there
That's
you
what
go.
I'm saying. Like you withhold your Spectre from the fight until Timber is dead.
There we go. I don't know if they win those fights. DP ult, the Timber himself is not going to be an easy customer. I mean,
Maybe. But that's the way to win. If
There you go.
that doesn't work, then the
You
winning
don't
doesn't
win.
work.
God, it's gonna if they lose game 1 because they didn't pick the Abaddon as a core, and if they lose game 2 because they went for the Timber over the Viper here, I'm gonna actually cry for this team. Look at how awesome of a Viper game this is. I'm crying not being allowed to play it. Honestly, like Tidehunter is absolutely useless into it. Doesn't do a damn thing. The VS absolutely useless into it outside of like swapping you in the middle of 5, and that's one item to stop that.
Look at that Spectre
If you
win
even
rate.
care.
Oh my god.
Nice, there we go. If you even care, like your team can very easily save between everything they got. Like you can just very easily get like VS ulted in, and then like Undying drops a tombstone right next to where you are, and then while you're in the same position, unless you're like 1v5.
Prepare for battle.
And if you absolutely can't deal with it, then just get like Lincoln's Lotus. The Hoodwink is the most annoying thing to you on the team, but is probably not going to be something you're going to be dealing with until you're already balling. Omni Knight, pretty much useless into you. The Spectre, pretty bad. Is such a tantalizing game for him. A lot of those same things are the case for Timbersaw. But there are two big things. One is that I feel like this team comp works a lot less with the Timbersaw than with the Viper. I mean, think about it like this, right? You get the Viper here, you get the armor break for Undying zombies and the DP ult. Now is that, and of course is the Slark, is that a tantalizing aspect or what? You get to, if you're really funny, you can tee up for the Nyx as well. Vendetta is pure damage, but Mind Flare is not, so you can break the hell out of somebody's magic resist, they get Mind Flare, take 10 trillion damage, you know? Has some great combos. The Timbersaw really only kind of has, like, Whirling Death to make people weaker as a combo. Doesn't really have many great stuns to help him out. I mean, Viper doesn't either, but Viper doesn't care. He can just walk at people and hit buttons. Coffee Cat getting kind of run here. First blood for Timbersaw. I cut you, I split you, and I killed you.
Like I said, dying there as a carry is like whatever, because you don't miss any creeps.
Yeah, dying there as Joel is a nightmare, though. Like, your carry dying there as Joel is a nightmare, because now Timbersaw gets to walk into this lane 2 for 2 on bounties, and chuck a level up.
A little annoying, yeah. But for Spectre, it's not a disaster, is what I'm saying.
There you go. A little situation down here, okay. Undying was thinking about trying to go for a second blood attempt there, but realized, wait, we don't have the first one yet. Okay, so I guess replays this patch are just gonna start out all janky for a while or something, I guess. Very odd. Ooh. The Hoodwink there had a little bit of a glitch. Should be. No, it could be a pretty hard lane for the Spectre, actually. Especially, like, I mean, for starters, you absolutely cannot be here when these guys hit 6. The Nyx isn't going to be able to 100 to 0 the Spectre for that much of the game, but it's certainly going to be able to do it early. And of course, the DP ult is not something you can really fight through with this guy, so... When these guys hit 6, the Spectre absolutely has to skip town, which could be kind of annoying. There's not really anywhere better to go. Okay, what happened to my Undying exactly? Oh, he's just getting, like, chased around here by the pole camp. Lost the trades. Hit your stick! Okay, he did, and he died anyway, sad.
Sometimes
you just need
like
a little
that.
less gun. And sometimes you get your Q at level 1, so you can't trade, really. Which is most games, really, unfortunately.
Well, didn't even get Tombstone.
Yeah, sometimes you get Tombstone for the first blood, but sometimes you get your Q at level 1 and you can't trade, and you have to kind of wait until level 2 to start doing much. Lots of fighting over this bull camp. Undying still at a level disadvantage. Should be careful here, even though the HP is bars in his favor right now.
So the thing is, he's distracting so where he can get free creeps there. So it's actually okay.
Oh yeah, he should be a little bit.
Dusty runs out of the lane to him.
Yeah, he should be a little bit careful because he has the potential to die if that happens, not because it's a bad thing to do. Even if he does run out of the lane, it's not too bad. So again, I'm still not really sold on this Slark guy this season. He just doesn't feel like he's ever really been able to do good, and this is not the best looking Slark game anyway.
My mid has 0 denies combined? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, Gotta say, this is not going nearly as well for LoneWolf as I feel like it probably should. Like, surely the way you win this lane is you just, like, just walk up to where the creeps are and hit Q repeatedly. Like, why are you thinking about this nonsense, right? Why are you letting this happen? Just hit, be where the Tidehunter is repeatedly. He can't do anything if you're there on him. Anchor Smash is powered by his right-click damage. Guess what you get rid of a little bit of with your whirling death, you know? Ah, well. He is starting to bull ahead. I assume it'll accelerate more and more as things go on, but I do feel like Timbersaw is probably playing this a little too. I don't know if passively is the right word. He is still top of the charts for last hits, but I feel like he should be like Tidehunter should not be second place, you know? Feels like he's...
It's so funny, there's no denies happening in this mid lane. You're sitting enemy creeps only.
Coffee cap pretty low. Almost died of the, oh my god. 40 HP, thank god for tangos. Has to be pretty careful though. Oh, Luth
okay.
calls badly there. Throws
Okay.
bats the wrong way. No longer necessarily in the threat of imminent death, but Joel could kind of eat a walrus. I don't know if you're aware of that. VS is got 7 HP. Throws his protests in, and that's like great and everything. Great that he didn't die, but like now both of these guys are super low. And both of the both the Dire guys are not. Which is pretty unfortunate as a Spectre. Let's see what happens to old Canada BMA here. Is he just gonna get walloped by, yep, everyone just hits all their buttons on him. Everyone hits all their buttons on him and he doesn't have the tombstone. Well, he does have the tombstone, he just doesn't want to use it. Slightly unfortunate. I think if he drops the tombstone there, I mean, he still dies. Well, at least Slark probably gets a kill for it, you know. At least he still barrels wife. Poor Coffee Cat, he can't even come close to this wave. This is a lane I predicted to go bad for Spectre, and it's kind of going worse, really. Joel is retired from this lane. He wants nothing more to do with it. He's just going to go hit creeps in the jungle. Probably for the best. The fact that he's done this good so far is a blessing. It's time to stop pushing your luck. Oh, he is going to come out to get the freebies by the tower at least. And Dusty's even going to get a Lotus. Dusty hates his W too.
He does. You gotta get that damage if you're pause through Omni.
Oh no, I was going to say it was Warcarp who was there in a game where there was a pause 3 Omni who just refused to get Repel ever, and he just died over and over. Not Repel, refused to get the, no, it is Repel. Refused to get Repel ever, and just died over and over as a result of it. It's not going to happen this time, but, you know. He is going to force Joel to come get this, tombstone.
Ray?
Ray goes cray for a second.
Oh, he doesn't have mana. Fortunate.
Oof. That just barely whiffs out there. By the way, Shone just died. Went to mid to try and take custody of this lane during that scuffle, but didn't end up getting it.
My tide with 0 mana TP top.
My Spectre with 0 HP is dead. Yeah, rather unfortunate series of events for kind of both teams there in that top lane. It's like it definitely felt like the Dire wanted to push them more. They just couldn't do it because of the TP. It definitely felt like Radiant wanted to get something for the Joel TP. All he got was a tombstone, which is probably not really worth it. He's gonna go start doing the ancient camp now. It's gonna be a very slow process with the amount of mana he has, the amount of low DSC items he has. This is very rough. Shone once again taking over mid. I guess his name kind of came true. He's like Shen or mid, and he's not Shen, so now he's the mid. quite confident in Omni Knight's abilities to survive in this lane, I guess, especially without his W, but I guess it's not going badly for them so far. I mean, Ray Bay Bay almost just dying to the creep wave here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This kind of make me feel like, you know, if you're not gonna like win this lane as Tidehunter, I get that. Just go somewhere else. Maybe like take over down here because this isn't a dreadful lane for old Coffee Cat.
Right.
Take over here. You could, you know, maybe let, I don't know. You would have to do some funny lane positioning. This Tidehunter is such an anchor around their neck appropriately enough. Omni Knight looking pretty dead. He has no ult. Never mind. And Timbersaw's coming in for the back line. He is very dead.
Is under attack.
Tidehunter is also coming in from the back line. He's actually going to ult just to get this Undying. He does get him. He does get him, but I don't know if he likes what's about to happen next. Timbersaw is broken. He's got to be really careful here. Whiffs the Q.
I think he liked it quite a bit, actually.
There you go. Great break there from Shone. If that break does not come out, then, okay, there you go. That break does not come out. That Tidehunter is super dead. You know, the only reason that Timbersaw was even in a hair of danger is because the reactive fell off. Also because he missed his Q and was being a little conservative with his ult, but you know how it goes. Can't all be perfect, like me. Lay mail out on the Spectre. It has helped turn around that free kill on the Slark. Has helped turn around what was a very disastrous lane phase for her. Look at the net worth chart. Unsurprisingly, he's just barely coming in over the Hoodwink, who in fairness was basically the mid for a minute. Like half of lane phase. They're looking at Sabo. I think they want him. I don't think they're gonna get him. They've already popped the Exo back. Let's look what happened to Dusty. And he just comes to mid. He comes to mid. Timbersaw has haste. Slightly unfortunate turn of events. Dice to the Timbersaw right click. And then goes, aww? Tidehunter's cutting a wave. Slark says, okay. More than content to let it happen. I like how much Joel has rejected being in this mid lane in this game. It's like almost a comical degree of not wanting to be a mid. You know, as everyone's coming for him, he immediately TPs to mid. Everybody sees him on the map and is like, hey, wait a minute. Takes a minute for that to process, for whatever reason. Good use of the Carapace there. Oh my god, Sebo, the creep. Okay. Alright. Maniac's had his ass juked off by Mr. 305. Dusty's chasing this DP. I don't think DP needs to be this scared, honestly.
Dusty's okay. He's a tanky hero.
That's true. The thing is, he probably shouldn't have been okay. She just says, what am I doing? And starts draining him on the retreat at least, you know. Comes the Spectre.
He has a Ravage up.
Yeah, big Ravage,
man.
holy crap. Kills the cumulative off lane.
Exact correct time.
LoneWolf going down too. Triple kill.
Man.
Alright.
That's fortuitous right there.
Yeah, you can say that. What you really mean is lucky, but... very good turn of events there. None for 3, likely gonna get at least half of this T. Never mind, nobody cares. Nobody cares about this T1 bot, it's not an objective worth taking. 2,184 gold passes the hands of the Radiant, mostly into the hands of the Tidehunter. It's kind of funny, Tidehunter hated his lane so much he wasn't even there. Like, he didn't even lane at all this game, basically, after the first legitimately maybe 3 minutes, and he's top of the net worth chart.
Yeah,
He was in the jungle, he was at top, he was everywhere except mid. And
Doesn't happen when you murder everybody in
that's
the
true.
game.
Feels like they're really reacting very poorly to the Tidehunter on the other side of things. It's like, The Tidehunter is a mid-hero, probably not too great in this game, but it doesn't really matter when everybody is so scared of the funny big fish. They're playing like assholes around him anyway.
Radiant's middle tower
Morale
is under
damage is
attack.
certainly real damage. I think maybe that's got a lot to do with it. Like Joel super owned from mid last skip because he like owned the hell out of the. Well, he didn't really own the lane, but he had a pick that owned. Used it really well in the early game to just slice people to bits. You know, kind of appropriate given who we're looking at right now.
Dire's structures
Gotta use the early game to slice it to bits. So I think maybe even though the Tidehunter is in like a much lesser position this game, I feel like those early kills got a lot of people spooked. Those the last game got a lot of people spooked. That Spectre got found in the jungle by Neeks and killed. 100 to 0. Very sad.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
DBL coming out.
Dire's top tower is under
Yes,
attack.
Omni coming in. Omni actually hits Soul Ring even though he's got full mana, which is funny. Slop quickly coming out here. Joel fumbling in.
Radiant's
Canada PMA taking one for the team to get rid of the tower there. Actually, it gets denied, sad. Very forward play on the Spectre here. It's gonna work out. Timbersaw getting pretty hammered back here. Ray and the Nyx Assassin coming onto the back line. They're gonna get at least one kill for their troubles. Almost everybody who goes for that kill on the Timbersaw just barely survives. They have to definitely be careful and get a good retreat going here. Joel's out of mana, so he's done doing things. Dusty is hitting the tombstone one time an hour. Decided to hit the Undying instead. Nobody played around that tomb at all. That was pretty unfortunate. May not matter. Joel looking pretty dead. Nope. They have so much healing, he's still alive. That was so unfortunate. I feel like if they had just played around that tombstone a little bit more instead of just letting the Tide and Omni Knight kill it, they both die for it, right? Like, they just got to kill the tombstone for free and then right-click back to base while everyone was just busy chasing around a funny little squirrel. Who does die, 3 for 3 ultimately. 3 on one side, 3 on the other, really. The Radiant ends up taking more of the change there, but the kill on Spectre was probably the most principal one. Even if that was before that fight really started. Slark just right-clicking away, happy as can be. Okay, Canada PMA just dying, happy as can be.
Spectre gaming.
Dire's middle tower
Yeah.
is under attack.
Let's hear
Radiant's top
murdering
tower
his
is under
DP.
attack.
Man had a one, he didn't even pop, and man didn't even pop his Veil of Discord. Which is interesting,
Okay, so we
because
have- We have Tidehunter problems, or what? That's not common.
I'm pretty confident that the health rate from Spirit Siphon is boosted if you Veil. Could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's just a direct function of the dealt damage. Which is slightly unfortunate.
Hey, how you going in there?
Definitely does not feel like, unfortunately, doesn't feel like the DP is on the right page in this game. There's been a lot of situations where just feels like she's been at the wrong place at the wrong time, has kind of panicked, forgotten to use the old skills, kind of forgotten to hit the buttons. VS tries to slop get out of here, it's just food for Slark. This is nice for him. He is second place in the net worth charts at this point. And Tidehunter can enable other people to kill Slark, but I don't think there's ever a point where he really kills him himself. Gonna try and go on him here. And they have to turn around. Actually, they brought everyone top for this, and Radiant has to turn around for it. Slight waste of time, to say the least.
Dire's top tower
At least
is
they didn't
under
waste the
attack.
Ravage, too. That would have been bad. Timbersaw going for the blink here. I don't think you're able to get away with this game. I think you just need to put that. If you're gonna get it at all, you need to put it later. Like you've got, you know, most of this Eternal Shroud out. I think you have to just finish it. Well, you got part of this Eternal Shroud out anyway. But he chose to go for the Sanj instead. Weirdly, I think you just got to get this thing out. Like. Do you, though? I mean, they don't really have much magic damage, though, is kind of the problem. Kind of annoying.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think Blink Dagger, unfortunately, is going to be the answer here. It needs either damage or survivability, and that doesn't get either. Ray going deep in here is going to slap Dusty a couple of times.
He's going to get ravaged.
He's gonna get ravaged. Doesn't really look like much is gonna come of it. Canada PMA dying on the back line. Everybody kind of turned around to deal with that. Luth now cleaning up those on the back line is very scared to keep moving forward here. Timbersaw broken, so they're definitely gonna want to turn around now. A lot of hesitation on that, which is pretty unfortunate. I think a good like assault there could have been huge, especially if it gave Slark time to show up.
Hoodwink American Sniper always gets the timber.
Yeah, Sean's coach told me in the stream once it's the only hero he can play.
Damn.
My Luth?
He's living.
He is living.
Exorcism. Okay.
Oh no, Dusty got away with it.
Living a bit longer because the exorcism, I should have said.
Quite unfortunate there. Has me thinking like, where's my Neeks? And he is around, but he's like way too far away to have any impact. These guys boomed. This feels like boomed gameplay. They're playing scared. They're like unwilling to help each other. The communication seemed to be like dead. People are like doing things without any confidence that anyone's gonna be with them. You know, you privately made a prediction between game 1 and 2 that in game 2 these guys are just going to be boomed and it was going to say the least, have a negative impact on their performance. Oh my god, Canada PMA round 2, baby! What the fuck? Okay, that probably wasn't it.
What can you do about that?
Did he think people were coming in to help the tombstone on that? Like, did he think there was going to be a defensive effort on that? Because there wasn't. It's the only reason I could think of why he would do that is he came in, he was like, we gotta save the tombstone so we can go in, and nobody wanted to go in. I don't know. Feels pretty done.
Call it lead. Yeah, they're not gonna call it. You don't call your season-ending game.
It's true.
With the ancient ball.
Feels pretty done, and it unfortunately feels pretty done for reasons that have very little to do with whether or not the game itself is tangibly winnable. Dusty's gonna go down. There's that at least. They finally got somebody after what feels like forever. Timbersaw trying to go deep for more, but can't find it.
But what did it cost?
Cost the life of Ray Bay Bay, that one's for sure. Exo coming out here. Coffee, you gotta be careful, buddy.
Oh, not like this.
Oh my god.
He's dead.
50
What?
HP.
Alright. That's
One-
insane that he survived.
One auto
Oh
attack,
my
he's
God,
done.
Call it. That's mentally booming. They're not recovering from that.
Yeah, I was talking about the tantalizing possibility of the Viper in this game, but I don't know if it matters. I don't think any pick matters. I think this is just like absolute morale fallout is what we're seeing here. This looks exactly like 5 guys who are not using the mic. You know what I mean? This looks exactly like 5 guys who are not using the mic. I mean, I know it's a small thing, but like the most blatant tip-off was that time at mid. Luth had the Exo up, guys are running away from him. He's charging, he goes deep into the river, he suddenly gets cold feet, turns around, then sees people are actually behind him, starts moving again. That tells me nobody's confident, nobody's talking. If anybody is like, go DP, go! You don't get that moment of hesitation. If Luth is confident, and he should be, if Luth is confident he can do something there, he just keeps going and runs him over. But he's not. He's not, the Timber's not. Timber, I think, part of the reason things are coming out like this is a bit of panic. Part of it is, it seems to be consistent with his prior performances on this hero. He has gotten his Blink Dagger out by now, which is, I guess, nice. And, 5 men find Slark at the swing gates and kill him instantly. Yeah, I don't know. It feels very much like Ray versus the world, and the world is winning. Feels very much like Ray versus the world. The world is winning. Ray's on a mid-hero, and he's, like, mentally boomed. Oh no, Tidehunter, that's his whole family.
Actually, Slark is a little worse than mid, if I'm being honest. But
what's his global win rate at right now?
I think it's like 48.
That's
pretty
not
bad.
what it is. That's what you think it is. DotaBluff.com. It's a great website, great resource.
Watching the game.
Yeah, this is a very enthralling thing you could not possibly tab out for.
I can't skip the funeral of the team.
I can't skip the 10 seconds of gameplay where Tidehunter is just bashing a tower. You know?
Yeah, dude.
I can't skip. What if he stops right-clicking top?
It's within 0.5% of 48.
I don't believe you.
Well, you can check after the game.
There you go. But I won't just to, I won't. I'll just stick by my own prejudices. Anywho. Yeah, he's on a pretty mid-hero. In a pretty not great game for it. Doesn't match that well on the Spectre. Is useless in the Omni Knight till Nully comes out. And while he's got like a weird relationship with Tide where like Slark can kill Tide, goodbye Luth. Slark can kill Tide super easily. But Tide can also do things through his ult. And DP just feels like gone. DP feels gone, and I don't even think it's the hero's fault. I think Luth is just gone. Unfortunately, I think he's just in a place where his morale is just shot so badly. He's just like, that's happening. And it's not like a horrific, unforgivable, unpardonable sin for that to happen to you as a Dota player. I'm sure everybody on this other team has been in at least one situation where, you know, they could be doing a hell of a lot better, but they're just so morale boomed. They just want it. They just want the pain to stop, even if they can get around it. 4-for-0 trade is we're uphill. I wouldn't even be that surprised to see a GG. Ray is cutting this wave though, so you're not getting anything done anytime soon. I don't think anybody notices. Call it, please.
Call it. No, I'll check, bro. Come on.
My God. Oh no, they actually almost got through the back door and they glyphed. Start going for regen and is now moving to cut the top lane instead. Tidehunter Ags is nearly in, Shard is already in. Spectre, Manta, Blade Mail, Diffie, nothing you couldn't have, nothing you would have missed from just seeing her play, but Neeks has a Dagon 1s, or is that at least, I guess. Luth getting absolutely demolished again.
Goodbye, my friend.
Neeks following. Where is my cheat sheet?
Not coming. It's like I said, it's the last game of the season. You gotta let them take the ancient.
It's true. Doing a little purification here.
You know, even if the funeral bells are ringing.
Goodbye, Maniac. Holy crap. And Neeks just learned the meaning of the phrase squash like a bug. Rebe Bay. Dead before he even gets to ult. Where's my cheat? Call it, guys. They're gonna get shown, so, you know, they gotta pause 4 at least. It's something, I guess. Omni Knight. I didn't really even consider like how much Omni Knight just squashes his DP guy, but it's pretty bad. They're like spawn killing a Timber Saw. Coffee Cat is beyond Coffee Cat! No! Oh my god, well that made it all worth it. At least for Maniac. Why back on the Timber Saw? It's gonna at least be enough to get these guys to leave the premises, maybe? Oh no. Oh, poor Coffee Cat. Have you read that theory about how Tony Soprano is actually secretly dead in the last episode of The Sopranos? Like, not like he doesn't get killed, like he's dead before it even starts.
Yeah, I know, it's a great theory. I'm sure it's true.
Oh no. Oh, my Slark has actually got 0 impact.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
Watch Timber die one more time and have a buyback. Have no buyback. Timber Saw's dieback is 79 seconds. Oh, Coffee Cat's revenge! Coffee Cat's revenge, let him get it, Joel! No, yeah. Nobody has detection!
Unfortunate.
Oh my god. What a time to be alive.
What are you gonna do about that?
I feel like I really am at a funeral. It has all the right vibes. I've never seen a team die quite like this. Oh no, my Slark. Okay, he was already hitting Q that time. He was not taking any chances. Coffee Cat will never get his revenge. Oh. Well, Canada PMA will not get his revenge either. Goodbye, Luth. Holy crap, that Omni Knight just beats that guy's dick so bad. And Ray is now a man without a country. Luth calls it, and we're going home.
Didn't even let the ancient fall. Wow.
I mean, there's no ability to defend it, so he just would have been sitting there for 25 seconds anyway. What an inglorious defeat. Again, I feel like I'm saying this an unfortunately common amount this season. It would be awesome to sit here and say that this was the product of some brilliant 3000 IQ mastermind shit on the part of the White Joel Birch's team. It would be great for me to sit down and be like, they got played, baby! They got buried 6 feet under, holy crap, and hey, that doesn't mean that they didn't play well. I should say that. I should put the asterisk on that. I think Dusty on the Omni Knight in particular, like, for a hero, I don't think he plays terribly often. Like, super felt like he was balling this game, which is partially for the pick, partially for the execution. Coffee Cat, of course, you know, Coffee Cat is sitting there like half of Ray Bebe's MMR and made him look like a chump. Oh, Tidehunter played the most unconventional game of Dota, and the stars aligned, and it worked out anyway. There's a lot of good to say, make no mistake. But I feel like the real story of this game is like 5 guys who walked into this game with no chance. No matter what they picked, no matter what the other guys picked, no matter how the lanes fell, they lost. They lost before they even got started. I mean, I shit on the Art of War a lot. That's probably going to make a bunch of people listening to this video go, what? I shit on the Art of War a lot. I think a lot of people who praise it very, very highly are people who've not read it. People who do not realize that over half of the book is about chariot warfare that applies only to chariots and not even cavalry or other vehicles. But, you know, I feel like a lot of the art, it tells you not to finish off encircled enemies. What can I tell you? A lot of Art of War is, things that were either incredibly common knowledge at the time anyway, or bad ideas. One of the big things that it is very strong about that I do think it is revolutionary, and at least that field, is about morale and mentality in warfare. These guys' morale could not have been lower in this game if they wanted it to be. It felt like the only guy who wanted to win, who wanted to do something in this game was Canada PMA. And unfortunately, he was on an undying that he barely knew how to play, sitting there on rank 1 with it. Felt like everybody else was just sitting there, like, from the starting gun, was just kind of sitting there waiting for it to end. So I think that prediction you made through between the games definitely felt like it was coming true here. Felt like the DP came out awkwardly, just never really seemed to come into their favor. Felt like the Timbersaw underperformed pretty much everywhere he was at. All Ray was just doing is just hitting creeps and dying and saying, go next, over and over. And, yeah, at the end of it all, I mean, I know I know if you look at the KDAs, there's one that stands out as particularly bad. I don't know if you can even really honestly put that on him. I don't think it's fair. Because I think, for starters, like, a lot of those deaths were very poorly advised, make no mistake. But I do think a lot of those deaths were equally... He's either putting his neck out for the team, getting it chopped off to no avail, or, like, rightly, mind you, not stupidly. He's putting his neck out for the team and getting it lopped off. Or he's trying to put his neck out for the team and the team isn't even there. Right? Like... I don't know. So, yeah, that's it for the Untitled LoneWolf team. It's time for everyone's favorite part of this show, besides the roll call, the end of the season rundown, the post-mortem. Who are we talking about first, Randy?
We'll do Ray first. Why not?
Ray, why are you
1,
trying
2,
to...
3, 4, 5.
Why are you trying... Yeah, there we go. That takes the least amount of thought. Ray, why are you trying so hard to run away from what makes you a successful Dota player in this season? Every time you pulled something out that was like a hero that you were good with that played to your strengths, you like owned with it. Even if you lost, you at least owned with it. And then half the season you're like, you know, I'm sure he's been playing this Slark on his undisclosed alt, but you know, it feels like, you know, I was talking at the top of the game about the Arc Warden. Arc Warden was very, very, very good for most of the season, still competitive at the end of it, and I don't think we saw it a single time. I don't think it came out once. It certainly never came out in a match that I saw. He took out the Terrorblade, who is kind of back now. It's not like, 100% good to go as a core, but it's kind of back. He took that out for a spin like once, and he owned with it. He got away with it. Right? But it feels like he's been spending a lot of this season on these kind of less than heroes, or alternatively, and this is even worse, on these less than picks. Feels like Godlike Matt was in the same boat where it felt like when it came time for him to pick something, there was a lot of, oh, I want to play this game, and it was like the worst game for it in the universe. Nothing as bad as Godlike Matt's anti-mage games, but, still pretty bad, unfortunately. So, I feel like this has been a lot in this season. It's like, it is LD2L. It is good to, like, try and be learning something here. But it does feel like, I don't know. It felt like the mentality was, like, set up poorly to try and, like, get learning done. It felt like, the long and short of it was, he's just picking whatever. Without much thought. Like, is he trying to learn Slark? I don't know. Doesn't seem much like it. He's got a little 2 by that avatar there, so I'm imagining he's not picking it much. I don't know. Trying to run from what makes him a successful Dota 2 player, maybe despite his team, but that's cutting off your nose to spite your own face. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just because a lot of his pool's in like the 45% club. Who's next? Pause 2. LoneWolf, hit or miss? Mr. LoneWolf, it did not feel like you were playing all that consistently at mid this season, no matter what the situation was, which is kind of an unusual situation to be in, isn't it? Now, usually when you get the hit or miss mids this season, it's like pool or matchup related, right? Like, guys don't know how to play a matchup when they're like super down and out, or guys like, have a small pool that's mostly bad heroes and they're just like, when they're on something that's good, they own. When they're on something with a 45% win rate, they have no impact. LoneWolf, it feels like you just, you were hanging out with Two Face's game, and he was flipping a coin. If it came up tails, he didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, this is a pretty unfortunate as it may be. This is an example of a match where you were kind of in that boat. or you were in a situation where you had a really awesome pick, all things considered, you didn't play the lane like you had an awesome pick. You played the lane like you had a bad pick, and you just let yourself fall further and further behind the other guy the longer the game went on. Tidehunter was just walking around killing people, and instead of walking around killing people in kind, you were hitting creeps and getting donked by Shone a lot. Like, I don't know. It's not how you play Timbersaw. You kill people, right? Tidehunter was giving you the perfect excuse. He was like, go kill my team over and over. Pretty please. I'll be on the opposite side of the map. And he just kind of kept right-clicking creeps, not to Timbersaw's strong suit. I don't know. It's like that sort of thing. Maybe it does come down to the individual picks, but it does feel like maybe it's a middle game thing. It feels like that's almost the song of the night for the LoneWolf team in general. Definitely feels like maybe there's a mental game component to it. Feels like sometimes we get baller LoneWolf, sometimes we get no LoneWolf, and that's not good. I said this already. I would rather have a 7 or 8 out of 10 mid every game, or at least a 6 or 7 out of 10 mid every single game, than a 10 and a 0, alternatively, I don't know. Luth! Like, you get the miscast award on this team, really? I don't think you were looking to play pause 3 this season anyway. It didn't seem like it from your sign-up, but... Yeah, the chemistry between Luth and... I guess really Luth and Maniac, because Luth and Maniac kind of came in with some chemistry. I mean, they did play a season together already, right? But felt like Luth, compared to the rest of the core trio, just stuck out like a sore thumb. I don't know if that's... I feel like that's a two-way street. Because I feel like... From everything I know about Luth, and from all the seasons he's been playing this game, and from the few times I've queued with him and everything like that, doesn't feel like Luth talks much. It feels like Luth is very used to playing in stacks where somebody else does all the talking. And it feels like Ray Bebe, he talks, but he kind of has that ASMR mic. Guys, I'm going top right now. I'm pushing out this wave right now. The wave's pretty bad, so I'm gonna come out. See, he kind of has that ASMR mic going on, so it's pretty hard to understand him legitimately. Like even when he's reaching out when he's talking. I don't know about LoneWolf. I've heard some bad things about this team's comms. Feels like, and I've seen. I mean, one of the nice things about bad communications in Dota 2 is that it's something where you do actually have like physical proof of it. Like, if everybody is playing super uncoordinated, if everybody's just kind of out of place, if everybody is playing super hesitantly because they're not confident their friends are going to help them, you can see it happen. I was calling it in this particular game, for example. Felt like Luth has been there all season. It felt like there was so many times where it's like a fight starts, LoneWolf and Ray run one way, Luth runs the other, and they just scramble to meet in the middle. I don't know. Felt like his chemistry stuck out. Part of that is just on not talking. Part of that is like meshing as players, which is always going to be a factor. Is rather unfortunate, but what are you going to do? Also felt like some of the picks were rough, but again, what are you going to do? Maniac. Well, some good signs for a guy who's been kind of typecast in this league as one of those like 4 players of the pool of 2. Barely got to play his pool of 2 this season. And has been doing pretty well, regardless, as an individual at least, sometimes. I mean, not in this game, but there were many other things going wrong in this game, and when things weren't egregiously terrible, he was at least doing the right thing, right? Like, he got that really big kill on the Spectre 2 times in a row. 2/5 of Spectre's kills are basically solo because of this guy, right? So, guy who's been typecast pretty bad. And I think a lot of his pool is like 45% win rates. Like, I think even after the patch, Snapfire is still bottom 10 win rate hero, for example. But I do think gave a good showing for himself here, even if he did get fairly crazy in some of the matches. Hard to say anything but keep it up. Keep up the grinding. There's certainly a nice return to form after the mid last season was kind of Looked good. I don't know if you thought he looked good this season, but I thought he generally looked good this season. Keep up the good work. Keep up especially working on those heroes outside of the main pool. Don't let that main pool sag now. You still need to be balling as Skywrath. You still need people to be banning it every game. But, yeah. I have little to say except you're on the right course. Canada PMA. Speaking of people with inconsistent playstyles and pools issues, felt like you were unfortunately on the other side of that coin. It felt like when Canada PMA, when you got like the Treant and the CM in particular, felt like when you did get your strength heroes, you were owning people. You were stomping the yard. You were doing awesome. Every time we saw you, you were doing awesome. When you were not on one of your hero pools, you looked like dog shit. Sorry, but that's just kind of how it is. It looked like you had barely played any of the heroes besides those two ever, right? Like, I would not be surprised if I go to your profile, see a very disproportionate way your hero pool looks, right? Like, because that's how it felt. Felt like you got two guys and you're like losing 1,000 MMR if you're not on them. That sucks. Sucks to be there, especially in a game like this where Block of Cheddar was more than happy to just keep banning your guys both games. Your one of your big guys, the Treant, got first ban both times. The good news is that if you're balling with two people, you're doing something right. I think it's time to start reaching out. It's time to start thinking like, okay, Canada PMA as a player, who am I? What's my strengths? What do I like to do? It seems like you like those. If you're doing really well on the Treant Protector, think about things like the Omni Knight, which not the best support right now, but fills a very similar role. Think about things like the Lich, which fills a very similar role, right? These guys who can kind of be these second line dudes throwing things into a fight. Feel like there's a lot of good pause 4 options you could choose from if you wanna take a look at that. See about your warding. Is that any good? Find out. Also sentries, but looks like he's mostly leaving the observing the maniacs. If you're gonna stay in the pause 5 role, that's probably something to work on. But yeah, I feel like maybe would be better to see as a pause 4 in some ways, but these kind of like team fight supporty support guys seem to be up your alley. Maybe keep looking at them. Some of the Undying plays were very questionable, make no mistake, but I definitely saw the right mentality, so maybe you could work on him, for example. I don't know. Randy, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, don't buy back in TP into 5.
Yeah, there you go. Some of those plays were questionable, but a lot of the plays looked very good, and it matches your strengths as a player. Needs time. Needs time in the oven. Start picking some of those V-line guys, Anyway, yeah, as a team, I don't know. I don't know if LoneWolf really got what he wanted out of the draft. It never really seemed like he did. It's pretty unfortunate. It kind of felt like LoneWolf was kind of half sour on his team day one, and it never really got that much better. Feel like as far as the coordination element of it goes, I don't know. It's gonna be very mean to say this because this is gonna sound like super flame, but if there's a least improved team this season, this might be it. It doesn't really feel like they ever showed anything more than they did in like week 1, week 2. Honestly, that's as simple as it gets. And I'm saying that as an institution. I'm not saying that as individual players. The chemistry never felt right. It never felt like everybody was on the same page. It never felt like those issues with communication and coordination ever got any better. Never felt like the drafts got that much better. I mean, again, a few games where they just super outdraft the other guys, but it feels like very once in a while. And it feels like that's when it's just like the stars align and Ray Bebe says, I want to pick this hero and it can 1v5. You know what I mean? I don't know. It is rather unfortunate. Well, that's my desktop. I can't imagine anybody's too happy right now on this team. I think maybe for LoneWolf. I mean, LoneWolf just wanted a friend stack with Princess, didn't he? And he didn't get it. That's really what it comes down to, isn't it? I don't know. Feels like he didn't get the team he wanted. It does feel like a little bit of dereliction in not trying to match what he got. So as a captain, he's definitely got some ground to make up. He's definitely got some things to work on if he wants to run it again. I don't know if he does. I feel like LoneWolf is probably more than happy just saying screw that next season. I don't know. If you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg today to sign up. It's too late to get into this season, but there is queues popping everywhere you look. They're actually starting in-house season early. I actually saw one happen last night. So queues popping everywhere you look. In-houses are already starting up. Season 18, you never know when that's gonna happen. LD2L.GG, hit that. Find that follow that link to that Discord server, and we will see you next time for something else.